Welcome to Winning Begins at Home. Glad you're with us today on a Monday. It's been a fun last few days for me. New grandbaby in the world, and we're fired up about that. Shout out to Catherine and Ariane, beautiful little girl there. Love holding her the other day, and it actually got me to thinking about this week's content. We're going fitness this week. Fitness week. We've been last few weeks talking about our personal operating system, just trying to have a way to process all the stuff that comes at our lives. And the last couple of weeks in particular, we've talked about winning the first hour of the day and winning the last hour of the day. Well, we're going to shift more to some of these specific areas of our lives here starting this week. And I want to start with fitness. I think it's a big deal. And I say the grandbaby got me thinking about this. So many people think that I hear this all the time. I want to be fit so I can get in the floor and play with my grandkids. I don't know very many old people who are like excited about getting down in the floor. And I don't know, most kids are wanting to run around and play ball and do stuff. I get that. But I think that's a benefit from living a life of fitness. But I want to say, if you're young, I was talking to some young leaders last week, I had a chance to speak to them. You want to start early on anything that you're doing. What's the old best time to plant a tree was like 40 years ago, whatever. The second best time is today. No, the second best time was about 39 years ago. It's like start early. We don't want to stop. And I brought with me a piece of paper here. I'm gonna for those of you who are watching on the YouTube channel, I'm gonna draw you a little picture. I saw this about a year ago. I was reading a book, actually for the second time. It's a book called Younger Next Year. And in the book, they remind us. I'm gonna draw two little pictures here. They remind us that we're gonna die. And which was kind of that's a fun way to think about a book. And basically, here's the picture. It's actually just a line. This is our lives, and we're let's just say let's put our lives here at maybe 40 or 50. I'll put 40 to 50 right here, and then this is 80. And you'll notice on the line, for those of you who aren't watching, this is kind of this rounded line. It just starts to go downhill really fast at some point. And most of the last, let's say 20, 30 years of your life are lived with going to the doctor and on medication. And I mean, it's the way a lot of our culture lives. In the book, they make this compelling case that if you'll just take care of yourself, which is what we're going to talk about this week, you actually can change the picture. And this is, I'm gonna show you this picture here. Again, this don't make sense. It doesn't make sense if you're not watching on YouTube. But they say it's a lot better to just have let's just maintain until we just fall off a cliff. At the end you're going to die. We all are going to die. We're actually going to talk about that here in a couple of weeks, the spiritual side of our lives, which will be fun. But I think this is a better way to think about our life. Now, if you're just listening, it basically it's just trying to flatten the energy level, the loss of energy, just trying to maintain our energy as long as we can and put that off as long as we can. And I think sometimes we think that's for old people to think that way. I'm just going to tell you, every investment I've made in my fitness over the last really 60 years, I don't have any regrets about that. And all that's in the bank and all the energy that I have, and I may not have energy tomorrow, but I still have energy today. And I think a lot of that has to do with the way that I've thought about that. And now let me say this. I'm not addicted to fitness. I know there are people who are, that's a whole different conversation. There are people who just live to be fit. And I want to be fit so I can live. I think there's a difference there. And so we don't have to go overboard here, but I think if we'll just get moving and understand really movement as medicine, let's think about it that way today as we start the week. What if exercise really wasn't about looking good, but about maybe feeling good, about maybe even feeling unstoppable in every area of your life? You really just had this energy that you could bring to your work, to your family. You didn't get home in the afternoon and just crash because you worked and now you don't have anything left over for the people who matter most to you. We talk about this all the time. Winning begins at home, really, right? So we want to still have the energy, and we do want to get in the floor if we need to get in the floor. It's great. I'm fired up about that as much as anybody, but it's not just because I want to get in the floor when I have grandkids. I want to be able to live my life, hang out with my friends, have passion in my work. I mean, all that stuff. I think it's so important when I'm young, when I'm old, all that. So, Jim Rohn, he's a writer, author, motivator guy. He says, take care of your body. It's the only place you have to live. I like that. I like that reminder. Like, this is it. This is what you have to live in. And if we don't like what we have to live in from a health standpoint, there actually are some things that we can do to change that. Now, there are some things, sometimes we get a diagnosis, things we can't change, but so many times we do have the ability to change stuff. And here's the wild thing. I've run across, and I've shared this actually here before, I've run across this statistic now that 1 in 3 people are struggling with mental health, depression, stress, anxiety, that kind of stuff. And it's wild. Research is showing now more than ever that exercise can be an effective antidepressant. Now I know, again, I'm not a doctor. You may need professional help here if you've got depression going on, but you may just need to go on a walk. It's that could literally be that simple for some of us. Mild to moderate depression, studies are showing can be treated a lot of times with regular exercise. And yet, how many of us don't really exercise? In fact, it's less than 1 in 4, according to some studies that of Americans, less than 1 in 4 get the recommended amount of exercise. And by the way, I'm guessing that whoever's recommending this, they're recommending less than what we need. It's just, they're recommending the minimum. So I think most of us, we can move more. And, the benefits go way beyond our physical health, as we're saying here. Our cognitive function gets better, our brain health. It boosts our creativity, increases our resilience and resistance to stress. People who exercise regularly, they just have higher levels of energy, and their overall well-being is just going to be higher if we exercise. And so I love the point from the book when I read that Younger Next Year. I don't necessarily recommend the book. There's some things in there that I really like though, and it talked about just this power of moving every day. And I would just say, for anybody listening today, we need to be moving 6 days a week at a minimum. I mean, you can have a day off, but when I say moving, pick a number of steps, or pick a workout that you want to do, or a couple of days. We'll talk about some of that this week. A couple of days a week, maybe you need to do some strength training. But I just think we need to reframe exercise. I think so many people put it in this vanity category. They want to exercise to look good. I say forget that. Let's exercise to feel good. Let's move it to the vitality category, out of vanity into vitality. And if you do, you're going to get a mood boost. You're going to get mental clarity boost. You're going to get stress relief. So many great things are going to happen. It actually, exercise affects every system in our body. It's just what we need. And so we weren't designed to sit around. And so as you begin to think about this today, I would even put a time on it. I don't think you need hours at the gym to do what I'm talking about today. If you'll just take 15 minutes, if you'll take 10 minutes, let's make that our goal today. I'll give you that in just a second. But before we get there, I want to just say this. Let's make exercise our keystone habit of the week. This week, you can't stack up a bunch of weeks until you get 1 week right. 1 week here. What would happen if you just began to move for this 1 week? And so today, my challenge for you, our action step is to do 10 minutes of movement. You get to decide what that looks like. But let's see if we can push ourselves to be slightly out of breath. So if you need to go on a brisk walk, great. If you need to get the exercise bands out and do a little workout with those, fantastic. Get some weights, go for it. No problem. If you want to do some calisthenics, that's awesome. Get a jump rope. If you want to be out of breath, get yourself a jump rope. Remember those from when you were a kid? You can get on the trampoline with the kid. You can do anything you want to do. I just challenge you to move 10 minutes a day, every single day this week, and to just, again, slightly out of breath, not completely out of breath. This is not some cardio crazy workout. I'm just talking, let's get moving this week. And I think we'll do that climb the stairs, whatever you want to do, play with your kids. I mean, that's great. But exercise is not punishment for what you ate, or it's not we don't exercise so we can reward ourselves with a cookie. We'll talk about that as we go this week as well. It is an opportunity for us to change literally the vitality of that is the word today. It is the vitality of our life. It could just be so much different if we'll focus on the power of exercise. So that's my challenge for you. I hope you'll do that today. Hope you'll join us as we continue this conversation this week, Fitness Week. I want to be fit for this new little grandbaby, yes, but I really want to be fit until at the end, I've got all the energy I need until my last day. And then, and then I'll be done here. So I hope you'll go on that quest with me. It starts with 1 week. Actually starts with 1 day, 10 minutes today. Check back in tomorrow. I'm going to give you some more stuff to think about. I hope you'll continue to share with your friends, your family, somebody you care about. You care, share, right? Give us a like, thumbs up, subscribe if you've not done so. We'll be back tomorrow. Remember, winning begins at home.